So here's my Smackdown review of the 27th, 28th December edition of Smackdown. I think it was a Smackdown which really was hot at the start, then kind of a little bit middling, but then it really, soar up in the end, 30-40 minutes. Like first we started with recap of the Saturday night's main event, and then we had Nick Aldis, giving his promo at backstage. Did they have some kind of president music in the background or some like retro music when Nick Aldis was speaking? Because it felt like the president of the United States was making some kind of announcement, and he announced that Kevin Owens had to relinquish that winged eagle's belt and give it back to him, so at the end of the show. Then we had Bianca, Naomi, and Bailey backstage, and Bianca was kind of warming up to Bailey again, and then they went to the ring. Then they had Nia Jax, Candice, and Tiffany Stratton come out. Nia Jax was there. She gave a long promo. Yeah, I didn't touch. Oh no, sorry. Like her voice is very annoying to me. It works, but I will just say do not give her long promos. Like just have her say a few words, and you could have said, you could have conveyed this stuff through Candice also. Like I don't get why Naya has to be on the mic. Like, and it would have made more sense in the story also, would have also furthered the story that, you know, Candice is becoming more and more close to Naya, that she's now even speaking for her and all that. So Naya was essentially that she didn't attack Jade. It was probably Naomi and everything and all, and then they came out. Then Tiffany came out with a huge pop. Tiffany came out with a huge pop. Then they had a very good match, I would say, a very good starter to SmackDown, a good hot six tag, six woman tag match to start SmackDown, and Naomi got the pin at the end when Tiffany Stratton, for like the millionth time, tried to cash in the Money in the Bank, which, like, I saw various Twitter accounts say this, and I agree with this too. Like Naya has to snap now. Like how many times has Tiffany tried to cash in, and this time it was the most blatant one because she was telling Candice that I want to be champion. I want to be champion because in the middle of the match, Candice was berating her. So at least do something with this. Do not act like this didn't happen, like they did with at war games, like Naya, that they did with a crown jewel. They built up so much that Naya was so angry with Tiffany, then she lost to live because of Tiffany, and then the next week she didn't do anything. But before, in the upcoming weeks, like she was grabbing her by the neck, she was like hugging her vigorously. So I don't get it. I hope, because they have announced that Naomi is getting another shot at Naya. Like it doesn't make sense. Why is Naomi getting another shot? Like after losing to Nia Jax, Naomi has not pinned Naya. Naomi has been in tag team action mostly. So I don't get why she's winning, but I think they're doing that so that they can have Tiffany cash in probably on the first 3 hour episode and the first episode of SmackDown after the New Year's, to get Tiffany cash in and become the women's champion. And then I think it was the Street Profits. I may not do this in the correct order. I may do this in the order that I remember things. Then it was the Pretty Deadly were backstage. The Street Profits were backstage too. The Pretty Deadly said that they saw who attacked them, and it was, and I was confused. Like, can't can't like the Street Profits see what was happening? Like, the one Pretty Deadly one was going to say Gargano, but then he stopped him. The blonde one stopped him, and they were like, Garzas. But can't you see that he was trying to say Gargano? Like, he was clearly trying to say Gargano. Like, they were standing right in front of them and they can't see them. They're like, yeah, okay. Like, are they robots or something? And then it was Garza's, and they took it directly to the ring. And they took it directly to the ring. And I would say, like, they had a really good match. Like they didn't job out Los Garzas, which I at the start of the match was like, why are they giving Garza so much offense? Like, Street Profits should be deadly when they have come out, no pun intended, and Street Profits should be, a lot more aggressive when they have come back. But then as the match went on and the Garzas, like, they showed out, like, they got their spots in, like, them like throwing Montez off the top rope while both of them were also standing on the top rope, them doing their moonsaults and all. They really got their licks in. Like, I really liked it. And then in the end, Street Profits won in a really good match. I didn't like them doing the, that but okay, I think it was fine. But it did feel like they had a much more aggression, because they wanted the tag team titles back. They wanted it back, and then they went backstage, and like, this segment, like, I was like, what the hell is happening? So Street Profits goes to backstage. Pretty Deadly are there. I think they first run into Johnny and Tommaso, and they were like, you scratch our backs, we scratch yours, and everything. And Johnny and Tommaso were like, okay, like, you keep your promise. We may give you a title shot in the future. And then Street Profits were like, and BFAB, and BFAB gave like a good kick to Elektra in the match too. And I'm like, where was Santos? Like, is Santos on a break? Like, like, where was Santos and all this? And Elektra, what does she even do? Since Los, what is it, Legado del Fantasma has formed, has her interference ever worked in their favor? I don't think it has. And then going forward, they were like, thank you, with the help from Los Garzas, and Pretty Deadly were like fumbling and all. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, a wild Apollo Crews appears, arms crossed and everything, and with a smile on his face, like he didn't just got bitched out by the Bloodline last week. He comes and say, you guys are crazy. The Los Garzas didn't attack you. It was DIY. I saw it. And then he just walked out. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, he came in like he was a messenger of God or something. Like he was Morgan Freeman or something. Like, you are wrong, bacha. I have the right knowledge. I will help you towards the right path. And like, first of all, in the past like 2-3 weeks, first he got attacked by the Bloodline for no reason at all. And when he was trying to enter into the arena, then he made the save, still got bitched out. Then last week he got bitched out by Solo. And then he was there when the Street Profits were attacked also. I get that he doesn't get on TV, he's in catering, but is he everywhere? Is he really God? Is he the real Byron Saxton? People will get that reference if they had watched Wrestle Talk back in the day. And, and then that was that. Then we had, I think, probably the segment that I didn't like of the show, which was the Chelsea Green United States Women's Championship celebration. She came out, did the typical heel stuff. She said JFK code, like red, blue, and green. And she did the glamorous, and that was it. And was Michin oiled up or something? Like, her hands and legs were glistening, or was she just stand or anything? Michin also came out, was very wooden on the mic, as you would expect, trying to be a badass, and then she attacked to no crowd reaction. Like Chelsea Green was much more convincing in this segment when Meechin attacked her and she was saying stuff off mic than when she was on mic. And I think somebody mentioned that. But okay, but then have Meechin versus Chelsea at the next week's SmackDown. Have the Women's US Championship getting defended instead of the Women's Championship. But I think they're having the Tiffany cash in. I'm just wondering what makes the Saturday night's main event card, because what's gonna happen later in the night, we're not. I don't know what's gonna be the main event there. Then we had and also the rules have clearly changed. You know, MCMG also came out. MCMG was in the segment too. They were like, we we are the first to get a tag team title rematch. And man, they were so small compared to all the others in this segment. Be it B-Fab, be it Street Profits, be it Apollo Crews. Like they looked like little children. And then it was I don't know. I'm not remembering stuff that great. And yeah, it was an Andrade promo also, which was good. That he was like which was essentially like, Shinsuke, you cheated to beat me, so I'm going to beat you next week. I would have liked this to be for the title. I get why it is not for the title, because what has Andrade done to get a title shot? But you can always find a way to make that a title match. Shinsuke can do his one of his spooky backstage promos, like saying, I'm going to expose you as the insecure pretender like LA Knight was, so I'm giving you this title match. And I think it would have been better, because it's been a month since Shinsuke has won the title and he has not defended that title once. And it would have been great if this would have been like a United States Championship match for next week, and you could have Shinsuke beat Andrade, but just you can have LA Knight cause some kind of interference or something, which kind of distracts Andrade, which gets Shinsuke to beat LA. And after the match you can have things like Andrade puts down LA with like his finisher, because LA because of LA, Andrade has lost a second time, because remember he lost to Carmelo 2 one time because of LA's interference, and he already has issues with LA because of all the not shaking the hand and the respect thing. So you can do stuff like that, and that will also like you know complete things or further things. It will like further the United States Championship storyline. It will actually mark off Shinsuke's first title defense. It will have LA do something in the United States Championship division. It will further the story between them two. Shinsuke can be like, DC, I beat these two pretenders and now they're fighting against each other and all that. And then you can, because I think what's gonna happen is it's setting up a triple threat match probably at Saturday night's main event. I think this is the match that's probably going to be at the Saturday night's main event. It's probably going to be Shinsuke versus LA versus Andrade for the US Championship. And either I think Andrade is winning that belt, or Shinsuke is winning, because it's a triple threat. So I think that's what's gonna happen with this feud going forward. I like one thing, that the tag team division has a storyline, and one thing good thing that you can take from the Meechin and uh, Chelsea segment is that they at least have a storyline for the undercard women. Like the Women's United States Championship is an undercard belt, and they straight away have a storyline for it. I'm just thinking about, like, this is their blow-off match technically, because this is their second. They had their second match at the Saturday Night's main event. They had their first match in that, trash can. What was that called? Trash can match or something. I forget the stipulation. So I don't get how, like, you won't have Meechin win the title from Chelsea this quick. They'll probably have this match at Saturday night's main event. You'll probably not have Chelsea lose this quick. Like, who is interfering to make sure that Chelsea wins or something? Like, like it's a solid feud to get into for the first first feud for the women's United States Championship, because this feud has been going on since before the title even came into the scene. And it makes sense also because Chelsea did win by surprise against Mitchell. But I'm just kind of like a little bit skeptical about how they make Chelsea win, because Meechin is not going to win. Chelsea is at least going to be the champion till WrestleMania. I think what's probably going to happen is the news came out that Jordan Grace's contract ends at January 19th, like 2-3 weeks before the Royal Rumble. So I think probably Jordan Grace is coming in the Rumble. She she'll probably eliminate some people and she'll probably get eliminated. But then I see probably a Jordan versus Chelsea match at Mania, where Jordan beats the brakes off Chelsea and gets the US title. That's what I see. What will happen with Chelsea? The thing with the attacking shade is, now I'm not like our account mentioned, I think it was Cammy or someone, like now I'm not sure they're going to go into the story with Naomi being the attacker. They may go with Charlotte, because Charlotte has been cleared. They have reports are like writers have been told to write storyline pitches for them. Like they can pivot and go with Charlotte attacking Jade. It makes sense because when Jade first came into WWE, like she had like a confrontation with Charlotte, and also it kind of makes sense. You can get like a Bianca versus Charlotte match. You can also get like a Charlotte Jade match. So there are things which can happen. I'm I'm just not sure about what is the direction for Bailey and Naomi. I think Naomi is turning heel, but maybe this is not the way she turns heel. Maybe it's like a swap. Like they say that Charlotte attacked Jade, but Naomi still turns heel. Like when Bianca and uh, Naomi probably lose the tag title, she probably goes berserk on Bailey, and that way you can set up like a Bailey and Naomi feud for like Mania or like before it, because I don't know how many matches you're gonna have on Mania. Already, if you just have like the title matches, there's so much, and you're gonna have so many non-title feuds also. So I don't know how you have it. And then going forward, you had Braun and Carmelo. Like it was really, I think this was the most funniest thing that I saw, where Carmelo was distributing Christmas cards, which was essentially it was like wishing you a very very Milmas or something like that. He is him and everything. That was a really good Christmas card. I want to screenshot that and post it on Instagram because it was really good. And then you had them. Because earlier in the day, Sami and Nick Aldis were discussing something because of the transfer portal, and also that Sami was on Smackdown because the Bloodline attacked him on Monday. And then Carmelo interrupts. He's distributing his Christmas cards, and so he also like wrote a letter to Nick Aldis, and he told Sami that why are you here? Like you only come on SmackDown because whenever the Bloodline beats you up, and then Sami essentially bullied him. Like Sami was like, you don't interrupt me when I am talking, okay? When two adults are talking and everything, and they were like, Sami was like, let's meet in the ring, and Carmelo agreed. And it's funny Sami being like a bully, because after the reports come out like he just big bro Chad Gable for WrestleMania, and then him doing this here, like it's really funny. I'm not implying anything, but it's really funny. And then I think this was the most Braun Strowman face Austin Theory, which was surprisingly not a bad match. Man, Braun does like a grandma power walk in the name of running, man, but he still was pretty exciting. Like this match, he was good and he won against Austin Theory. And then Sami versus Carmelo. I think this was the match that the crowd was the most hyped in the for the show. Like they were really into Sami and Carmelo doing stuff, and it was not like a quick neat match. It got time, and both of them showed out. The crowd was wild, and it felt seamless. Like even though it ended in a DQ, but it felt seamless. Like Carmelo is out of the ring, and then Braun Strowman's music hits, and Carmelo does the perfect like, and then Braun picks him up. I don't know why didn't the ref. If you look at it kayfabe wise, like Carmelo should have won that match by disqualification because Braun picked him up and the referee was directly looking at him. But Carmelo, came out of it and then he ran backstage. And then suddenly you have Sami there standing, and then he turns around like I think it was Sama Tonga that spears him. The yeah, 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 yeah. And then Solo and Jacob begins beating up Sami Zayn, and then you have and then suddenly Braun comes out back with Carmelo on his shoulders. He throws Carmelo on the stage, and then he comes to the ring because the they are there, and the crowd was legit into this. Not even the Jacob Fart one. They were legit into Braun coming and saving Sammy. And Braun comes out, they are fighting and everything, and then Jacob Fatu does his little jiggle, and they are in the ring. Jacob and Braun standing there, and the crowd went nuclear for Jacob and Braun doing their confrontation. And then the Bloodline intercepted. They attacked him, and then they gave him like Tamatonga beat him up, Jacob Fatu beat him up, and then Solo gave Braun uh, two someone spikes while telling to the camera that Roman, I'm coming for you. And then Jacob hit like a springboard moonsault from the top rope, running towards the top rope and then hitting a springboard moonsault to Sami Zayn. And then, it is everyone, officials coming out, Nick Aldis coming out, getting everybody to clear there. And then Kevin Owens music hits, and I'm like, whoa. And this was really seamless. And like one account said, I think it was a Dane Yamamoto, he said that it would have been a little bit better if Solo had Sammy in the position of doing the Samoan spike, and before he did the Samoan spike, Kevin comes out, and Solo doesn't do the spike, and he gets out and he leaves, and it would have like left like a doubt in the viewer's mind that did Kevin do this to save Sammy, or he just came out because Nick Aldis was in the ring. But what happened was Solo hit the summon spikes, Kevin Owens music hit, and it is the most closest interaction that Kevin and Sammy have had since Sammy joined the Bloodline. And it was essentially that Sammy was taken out of the ring. Nick Aldis is standing there. Kevin Owens comes out, and there he is in the ring. And then the Kevin Nick Aldis segments happen, where Nick Aldis says to give him the title. Then Kevin is like, no, I deserve my title rematch. I took this because I deserve it because the ref screwed me. And Nick was like, give me this title, unless if you don't give me this, you don't have a career in the WWE. And then it was essentially like it was happening, and then Cody comes out. You are a huge pop. People were saying that that Cody, people are turning on him and everything. These things happen, but that doesn't mean Cody is not still over. Cody comes out with a huge pop. He had a very like this was the promo that you wish to see from a world champion. Like Cody comes out, he's like, what you did to Randy, what you did to me, I'm going to beat your ass and everything. And Kevin Owens tried to do his his usual heel shtick, like, oh Kevin, oh, your story, your family. And Cody was like, shut up. And I was like, yeah, tell him, Cody, tell him to shut up. And it was really good. And then Nick Aldis announced that it will be Cody versus Cody proposed a title match in a ladder match where he implied that both the titles will be hung up, and Nick Aldis made it official. Cody versus Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble for the undisputed WWE Championship in a ladder match. First of all, a singles ladder match. We have been seeing this after a while, and then Cody had a great ladder match with Sami Guevara before leaving AEW. Kevin and singles matches at Royal Rumbles have almost always been great. To like important things have happened there, so I'm excited for this match, man. And this promo was like, yeah, this was like, a world champion facing his challengers. Like, it felt big time. And that was that. And it's like what? December December 28th, and the Royal Rumble is on February 1st. And apart from the two Royal Rumbles, we got our third official match, which is Cody versus Kevin for the World Championship, for the undisputed WWE Championship, official for the Royal Rumble in a ladder match, and it's going to be awesome. I think what's probably gonna happen is Randy is gonna return and Cody is gonna retain it. There's gonna be some tensions between Cody and Randy too, because Cody would have been like I wanted to win the titles by my own. Kevin Owens will, I think, then go after Randy because he will be like, he can't get any more title shots because he lost like three times to Cody, but Randy cost him. And people are saying that this will be like a WrestleMania program. I think this would be like, but I think this would be a program which will probably end at Elimination Chamber. I think this would be with KO winning. I think either KO winning, or what's probably gonna happen is either Sami is going to be involved in an Elimination Chamber match, or in any match he's going to be involved in, and two scenarios are gonna happen. Either Randy wins and KO, because he lost, goes berserk, attacks Sami in the whatever match he's in, and then that's how you set up the KO versus Sami match for Mania. Or otherwise, KO wins against Randy. I don't think KO is going to lose against Randy in Canada of all places, and then he goes to attack Sami, and that's how you set up, their program. And then Randy, this can actually, Randy actually losing can set up Cody and Randy in the future, because Randy will be like that. He came after so much. Like Kevin Owens, like took him out. He came back, and he still lost. While Cody is the one like who could beat him. If Cody is facing The Rock can bring this up in his promos. I think I will rather than have Randy in a match at WrestleMania, have him be like Cody's, like the Young Bucks for Kenny Omega in his matches against Okada, or something like a guiding flair, a friend, a companion. Like, just have him there, be that. Do not have Randy in a match at Mania, furthering his insecurity that his time is coming to an end or anything. That's how you build this up. Cody, whoever he faces at Mania wins. Randy's lifting him up. You can see like a slight like an expression of sadness or like anger, but it's like brushed off. And then the SmackDown after Mania, you do the big turn. You have Randy turn on Cody, and that way you can set up like a good 3-4 month program for like Cody and Randy going forward. Because that's the thing that I think Cody kind of lacked after his match against Roman, was like a red hot feud to get it to. Like, he had a good feud with AJ, and his matches were like really great, but people were expecting like a great feud, like a great storyline, which I think him, if he beats the Rock at Mania and then going into a storyline with Randy, I think that's like capitalizing on his popularity, or like the new fans that the WWE makes or he makes after WrestleMania, and get people invested. And I think that will be great. I think that's how things go forward. So this was a good 3.5, I would say 3.25, 3.5, 3 point something, in that 3 something range. SmackDown, which was a SmackDown which was probably booked at the last moment, because they didn't advertise anything for the SmackDown, and they still sold like 11,000 tickets or something. And you could see that they didn't announce a lot of things, but they did it. And pretty good SmackDown, not gonna lie. Better than Raw, better than the last week's SmackDown and Raw. I liked it. I am excited for the Raw on Monday. I am excited because it's the last Raw for the USA network, and I'm excited for the Smackdown also that's happening on January 2nd or 3rd or whatever, because newsworthy things are gonna happen, good matches are gonna happen, and that was my Smackdown review. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. If you like this type of content, if you don't, recommend it to those who do. My UPI ID link is in the description, so donate on it so that I can make YouTube a full-time career. My social media links, which are my Instagram and Twitter links, are in the description too, so follow me on that too. So that was it for today. Probably I'll upload a cricket review also, but let's see. And that's it. Goodbye. That's it. Thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.